everybody, it's Josh with Talk About Trek, and I am back again today on another new comic book Wednesday, and we're going to talk about a new Star Trek comic that is out, The Last Starship. We have number one here in our possession. This came out, I think, actually maybe a couple weeks ago, so it's not brand new, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, so I figured it would be a fun one to get into. And be forewarned, it is a very silly comic. I guess let's give you some of the details here. This is, like I said, The Last Starship, which is based in the far future of the Star Trek universe. So if you've watched Star Trek Discovery, you're familiar with the burn. This is basically what happens right after the burn. So this was written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. Artist was Adrian Bonilla. Colorist Heather Moore, and Clayton Cowles was the letterer. And the one thing I will say that I do definitely like is the art in this is very good. Very lots of like shadow, lots of dark, and I think it really fits well, with what's going on with the Federation at that time. So the story, well, first off, I guess the Discovery era, or that future, it's not my favorite setting for Star Trek. I understand why they did it, and it kind of makes sense to go there so you can do some new things. But, I prefer my stuff set in the TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager era, right? That's the golden era right there. And I think a lot of it for me, too, I thought the ships, the futuristic ships, were kind of silly looking, especially with the warp nacelles that were not attached to the ships. But I digress. So this book is set in, like I said, right after the burn happens, and it actually kind of takes you through that happening, and then, kind of what the Federation is going to do to try to follow up after that. And like I said, it gets a little bit silly, but I am interested to see where they are going to take this silliness, right? So there's a lot of very strange stuff going on, and we'll look at some of it here. And I'm just very interested to see where they're actually planning on going with all this, because it is a little bit outrageous. So let's see if we can get some view here for you. And that is definitely upside down. There we go. Okay, beautiful. So here you are, The Last Starship, and again, I like the colors. Well, here, let's go over here first. In loving memory of Miguel Manuel Bonilla Quintero. So anyway, here you have this is Captain De La Corte Sato. He's part Andorian. He's part Vulcan, and I think he's also part Trill, I believe. So he's your captain. He's your your lead here in the comic, I guess. And then here is his ship, the USS Sagan, and they are currently on their way. This camera's not great. Perfect. There we go. To negotiate with the Gorn, trying to get the Gorn to join the Federation. And as you can see, it's the old school Gorn here too, not the new, strange new world style Gorn. So, but as they are meeting, the Gorn ship explodes, and their ship begins to explode as well. The burn basically makes all of the dilithium reactors or whatever explode. Their chief engineer, this dude right here, who looks like some kind of spider, wearing a knight's helmet, maybe. Anyway, he is able to save the captain and I think maybe 2 or 3 more of the crew, and they get saved from the burn. There you can see everything blowing up and them escaping there. The Last Starship. So now they're back on Earth, back in San Francisco, and I thought this was kind of funny. At Starfleet Academy, or Starfleet headquarters there, they happen to have a statue of Kirk, Picard, and Janeway, who even all that time later are still known as the legends that they are, right? So they get their own special thing there. They have some interesting things here where they kind of go over the last transmissions of a bunch of different ships. But we're not going to show you the whole comic. We're just going to kind of peruse through it. But the gist is basically that they are explaining the situation. You know, they have no more ships. They have no more way to get out there. But then they're offered help. And then if you watch Picard Season 2, you're familiar with this figure here. And this, for me, was pretty crazy. Oh, excuse me. Sneeze. Number 2 coming on. Whoa, okay. I thought that was kind of crazy that they actually brought back Dr. Girardi as a Borg. The Borg Queen or whatever, the different kind of Borg. That was something that they did in Picard, and then like in season 3 of Picard, it was just gone, forgotten about, right? So anyway, they brought her back here. So, and she basically is offering her help. Oh, come on, upside down thing. Let's go. Right side up. Oh God, we're all upside down now. See, this is what happens when I try to do something new. Anyway, we're gonna write. What is it doing? We can fix this. We can make it better. Here we go. We'll go like this. We go like this, and we flip it, baby. Okay, see, look at that. Boom. Now, anyway, Dr. Girardi, the Borg Queen, is back, and she wants something. She wants to make a deal. Right here she is. Let's get a close-up. Still looking good. Some, God, what is it, 800 years later or something, I think, in this future. And basically, she wants something that they have kept hidden on the Daystrom Institute, or the, what do they call it here? Yeah, anyway, she wants something, and what do you think it could be? Anyway, here's their ship, the USS Omega, and basically so they introduce some of the side characters here. You have this Klingon poet, but the real interesting thing comes here in the end, when they are at the, like the Daystrom Science Institute. Yeah, Daystrom Station right here, right? And of course, we know that that's where they keep Kirk's body. Project Phoenix. Oh my God, they're doing it. They're bringing Kirk back. And look, he's like Terminator coming out of the time sphere, right? We need you. So anyway, you got Kirk coming back, and then you got this reveal here of this bad Klingon coming to bring about the Federation's end, right? So there you go. There's that. Next month, Kirk looking bewildered, maybe? I don't know. We'll see how he reacts to the burn. Just a few more looks at the art here. Look at that new uniform Kirk gets. And here he is, having a nice slice of pizza. So, an interesting comic, right? The Last Starship. We'll see where this goes. Again, it's a silly concept, but I guess I want to see what the heck they're doing here. They're bringing lots of different things in. And just the fact that they brought back the Girardi Borg Queen, too. It's very weird. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, but I'm here for it. I like the art style, so I'm interested to see where it's going to go. So we will continue to read The Last Starship, and you guys can come back and, I will update you on what I think. Oh, man. We've got some other fun stuff coming up here soon, too. But what I do want to get into, like we were talking about before, is looking at some of the older Trek books as well. So definitely going to get into that as we kind of work our way through some of the newer stuff too. So as always, thanks for hanging out and joining me here for the Star Trek Comic Collective. It's fun to sit and read new Trek stuff and just, get a different story, and a lot of the times the comic side of things is a little bit sillier, right? And that's fun. So thanks for hanging out and listening. As always, my friends, live long and prosper, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.